So this is sort of interesting here. We have a logic 1 special 11. We'll say that a number is special if it is a multiple of 11. So just emphasizing on that particular part. We'll say that if n modulus 11 is equal to 0, in other words, if this division problem, the modulus operator essentially reaps the remainder. So if there's a remainder of 0, then it was completely divisible by or 11 is completely divisible by n. And so we can say that that it's special, right? And it's special in this case. But you'll notice that it also asks us, we'll say that a number is special if it is a multiple of 11 or if it is one more than a multiple of 11. And so if we have, let's say, 23 here, well, 23 is one more than a multiple of 11 because 22 is a 22 is divisible by 11, and since we have 23 being the main number here, the main number is one more than a multiple of 11, and so this would reap true. And what you could think to do is you could say, okay, if n modulus 11 is essentially equal to 0, or n, and this is where the logic begins, we'll say that if we take n and we minus it by 1, if that number, so n minus 1, if that number modulus 11 is equal to 0, then we'll know that the number that we had before the subtraction is in fact one more than a multiple of 11. And we'll say that we'll return true in this case if it's either a multiple of 11 or if it's one more than a multiple of 11. We'll return true, otherwise we'll return false. And we run this and we actually run into a problem. And the problem is that we have some greens here, and that's all great, but we also have some reds. And essentially what these reds are is the order of operations problem. It's not actually doing n minus 1, then modulus 11. It's actually doing something like this, where it's doing 1 modulus 11 first because division comes first in the order of operations, and then it takes that and it gets subtracted from n. So the real way to do this would be do n minus 1 first, and then judge if that modulus 11 is equal to 0. And then you'll see that when we do that, we actually get all greens. So